This week's Torah portions, Bahar B'chukotai, in which Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh describes the laws surrounding resting the land and crops every 7 years, as well as the Jubilee year every 50 years. Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh permits the use of slaves, but provides stipulations including the obligation to eventually free your slaves. That's Parshat Bahar. A lot there. If that wasn't enough, it's a double Parsha, Bahar B'chukotai, and in Parsha B'chukotai, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh tells the people of Israel that if you follow God's commandments, they will be provided with rain to feed the crops. But if we do not, there's a long list of punishments that will be inflicted on the Israelites if we do not follow God's laws. Well, as I was saying, Bahar B'chukotai, there's a lot there, none of which I'm talking about this morning. So, we begin this way. I ask you this question, and you'll see, as always, there hopefully will be a method to my madness. Does anyone really love to make the bed? Now, I know there is one among us who loves to make her bed in the morning. She's wagging a finger at me as we speak. But for many of us here, it's just a chore. And for many of us, a chore that gets left undone. Does anyone really love to go to the dentist? Ellen is hiding as we speak because what do I say to my dentist? You know, I'm not really happy to see you. Renee and I have put our dentist's children through college multiple times. Does anyone really love to wait on hold, hearing that over and over again? Your call is important to us. Please hold. Well, they're so full of crap. If our call was really important to them, they'd pick up the damn phone right away. Oh, God. Hello? And then what do you start yelling? Representative! 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 And then, of course, you get disconnected. Does anybody really love to do taxes? Oy, Gewalt. There's a reason why they're called taxes, because it's taxing. Does anybody really love to clean the toilet? Now, I have to tell you that. You see the look on this guy's face? He doesn't love to clean the toilet, but as I was looking for images for this, 99% of the images was some happy woman cleaning her toilet with the multiplicity of cleaning goods that are available to us today. And I was not surprised to see in these images the toilet was already clean. So why was she cleaning the toilet? Does anybody really love to deal with insurance claim forms? Renee has her finger down. That's why she gives the job to me. She's no dope. All right, continuing this crazy line. Does anybody really love to wash the kitchen floor? I had to use this image. Look at this man. He's on his knees. Why he's on his knees, I have no idea. He has a mop in his hand. Maybe he's going to roll across the floor and clean the floor with his pants. But I don't know who that is in the background. Some model they probably hired to come in and put her legs just in that way with the gloves on. She looks so proud and happy that, hey, chump, you're washing the floor, not me. To my memory, this was more what cleaning the floor was like. That is not my mother, a blessed memory, but it could have been my mother. Actually, it looks more like my grandmother, and I think that's the stove that my grandmother had. Okay, one more line of these things. Does anybody really like to declutter? Well, Oh, okay, Julie, you like to declutter. Okay, that's terrific. Because what happens when we declutter? We can put things away for donation, things that we keep. As a matter of fact, there are health benefits to decluttering. I bet you didn't know that. What are some of them? Boosts feelings of self-efficacy. Help decrease stress. Dad, thumbs up. Improves mood, certainly among the people you live with. Promotes greater productivity. I'm not sure about that unless the person you live with is cleaning up, and then it increases your productivity. Why, for God's sake, Rabbi Mark, have you been going through this long list? Well, finally we get to the Parsha. Im bechukotai telechu, v'et mitzvotai tishmeru, v'yasitem otam. If you follow my laws, notice the title, the name of the Parsha is in the first line, as it so often is, bechukotai. If you follow my chukim, my laws, and faithfully observe my commandments, tishmeru, v'yasita, and do them, v'yasitem otam. It's not just observing them. Oh, I'm watching out for my commandments. No, you have to do them too. Well, I have a problem with this sentence. Doesn't it seem redundant to you? If you follow my laws and faithfully observe my commandments, aren't those two things the same? Doesn't if you follow my laws equal faithfully observe my commandments? So that question I'm bringing to you this morning is a question also on the mind, of course, of Rashi. As all things are on Rashi's mind, he asks the same question. He asks, what does follow my laws mean? If it seems like it's redundancy, and his answer is that one should toil at Torah. One should toil at Torah. And what he's talking about is learning Torah. And in a second, we'll complete that sentence, not just learning, you're supposed to la'asot, you're supposed to do it as well. And so with that, Rabbi Tzvi Hirsch of Lamatz teaches it's not a toil that one should meditate upon matters of Torah. So he's taking Rashi and he is, in a way, turning it around and understanding what Rashi might mean, or maybe even putting words into Rashi's mouth. We don't know. But what he says, it's not hardship, it's not a toil, it's not a burden that one should meditate upon matters of Torah. Rather, all the toils one encounters in life, all the effort and struggle, should be in service of Torah. Okay. So what we do should lead us back to Torah, and Torah should lead us back to what we do and how we behave, etc., etc., etc. This is the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe is the author of the Tanya and goes back to the very beginning of Chabad. In the early years of his leadership, the Alter Rebbe declared, and you can find this in the very beginning of the Chabad Chumash anthology, 5 sections. We have to live with the times. That's what he said. That's what he teaches. We have to live with the times. Now, what the heck does he mean by that? Isn't that a typical Jewish question? Meaning, what do we mean by that? So to answer that question, I am going to pick up the late Yitzchak Buchsbaum's book, Jewish Tales of Mystic Joy. Yitz of blessed memory, how many of you have ever had a chance to study or be in Yitz's presence? A tzaddik, if there ever was one. This is what Yitz writes. And Yitz is actually working from what the Alter Rebbe's students said about his teaching. One must live with the times means that every day one should live with and experience in one's own life the Torah portion of the week and the specific section of the week's portion. For every day, there's a different part that we read. That's connected to the day. The Rebbe was telling them one must live with the times, right? One must live with the times. One must not only study the daily portion, but also experience and feel it in one's own life that day. Living with, and the times means living with the Torah. Again, Reb Tzvi Hirsch, may it be that all your labors are for Torah. So even all of those things that we started with at the beginning of this Devar Torah should be for Torah. Meaning, what meaning can we bring to or glean from washing the floor, cleaning the toilet, making the bed, etc.? If we embrace everything we do, even the unpleasant and unfun parts, then we make meaning of it. So here, Reb Tzvi Hirsch is encouraging us to, rather than reading Rashi that one should toil at Torah, instead, let's read it as find the Torah in the toil. I kind of like that. So on this Shabbos, Bahar B'chukotai, my holy friends, may we find Torah in the toilet. I'm sorry, I crossed that out. May we find Torah in the little things, in the things we find intolerably annoying, as well as those moments that bring a smile to our or someone else's face.